Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and this is a beer brief. If you're unfamiliar with what a beer brief is just a short, concise as I can make it, beer review video. My normal long form videos can be about 10 minutes long, so this doesn't have all the graphics, doesn't have all the different angles. This is just talking about the beer. If you do know what a beer brief is, thanks for coming back. This one is Dr. Hoptagon. It comes care of David Horr. My buddy sent this along to me. It is from Parish Brewing Company in Broussard, Louisiana. It is an 8% double black IPA or black double IPA, depending on how you can read. This is from Parish Brewing Company, as I mentioned, in Broussard, Louisiana. Love the label. It's a little bit of an homage, I think, to Dr. Hoptagon, the Cool Keith side project. And yeah, it's got like almost looks like a maze, almost like a brain. I think of it looking like a brain. It's got their typical kind of almost GTA font colors. My glass has a little condensation in it, but we're going to go ahead and crack this open. This was canned on March 19th, 2021. It is mid-April right now, so it's a few weeks old. It's probably in its prime. Let's go ahead and crack it and put a nose on it. Black IPAs. Love black IPAs. Sublimely Self-Righteous is one of my favorite black IPAs from Stone. But I don't think I've had a double. So this has a little bit of a sweetness. I'm picking up on almost like a little bit of a malty sweetness. Let's go ahead and pour this. It's coming out of the can pretty brown, but it's not quite as thick as I was expecting it to be. It does have a nice brown characteristic to it. Gonna let it just flow a little bit. And I'm getting about 2 fingers, I'll say about 2 fingers, pretty close to 2 fingers of head on it. It has a bit of a kind of a khaki-ish colored head, a little bit darker than khaki, not quite like brown, not quite tan, but it's just a little bit off of khaki, maybe a little bit browner than khaki. Let's put a better nose. I'm getting actually quite a nose full here. And it just kind of smells like a sweet malty, there's a sweet malty aroma. There's really not anything jumping out to me. But I have a bad sniffer. I'm a can sniffer, so I have a bad sniffer. I sniff out of the can and the glass. Sometimes you get different looks at the smell, if that makes any sense, depending on how you smell it. So let's go ahead and try it out. Cheers. Really pretty interesting. Has like a chocolatey maltiness to it. Like you're getting a bit of a roasty chocolatey malt. And then on the swallow, and that's where the sweetness is up front, that chocolate kind of chocolatey, roasty, malty flavor has a bit of a sweetness to it. And then when you swallow, that's when you're kind of getting a little bit of a piney resinous quality that comes through. Yeah, like a sweet, smoky, chocolatey maltiness. And again, yeah, that's when that you're kind of getting a piney resinous quality that comes through. It's not really super strong. It's not really in your face, but it definitely kind of, pulls up the rear on all that chocolatey, smoky, kind of roasty sweetness that you get up front. And then even after that resinous kind of quality subsides, that little bit of hoppy resinous bitterness, this bit of a smoky characteristic comes up and just kind of ties it all together. On the quick drink, you get a little bit more of the sweetness, a little bit more of that kind of those malty, flavors that I was talking about kind of come through a little bit more of that front part. And then you don't get so much of that bitterness, but it kind of creeps in a little bit slower than if you take a big drink and you kind of let it sit in your mouth for a little bit. You get a little bit more of that IPA kind of quality out of this. I don't know quite what hops they used in this because they don't list it. There's no real listing on here of anything besides, Dr. Hoptagon and, the information about Parish Brewing Company in general. But I would think that it's kind of leaning towards that resinous end. I'm not getting much anything out of citrus kind of hoppiness or any kind of maybe a little bit of an earthy quality in there, but not much. I think the hoppiness, the bitterness that comes through is more of that piney resinous variety. So that is Dr. Hoptagon. This is a really delicious black double IPA. I don't think I've ever had a black double IPA. 8% alcohol by volume. The alcohol isn't really in your face. It's very subtle. I wouldn't say that this is something that I would consider boozy at all. 8% to me, I think is kind of high up there, but it doesn't have anything that really kind of makes you feel like it's going to put you under the table. but I have a feeling after a couple of these, they'd really start to catch up on you. So again, big thanks to my buddy David Horr for sending these over to me. He sent this one and another one from Parish. And yeah, so that has been Dr. Hoptagon, the 8% Double Black IPA, one of the best Double Black IPAs I've ever had, because I've never had one before, but it is a really good, solid black IPA. So I'm going to sign off there. Until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries. These guys are in Broussard, Louisiana. And until next time, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. See you next time. Cheers.